Greetings to everyone. I must say, as a security practitioner, we all have something common among us, and that's we want to shorten the time to detect, right? We want to speed up the threat detection. And in this particular video, I'm going to talk about how you could speed up the threat detection using Cisco SecureX integration with the security trail module. So I promise to show you a couple of things in next 4 to 5 minutes of this video. What does this particular integration allows us to do? You will be able to know that. You'll be able to. I'll be able to cover that for you. How to do it and where can you get the steps? Because nothing is better than trying it out, right? So how to do it and how to get it done is another thing that I should be able to show you. Next, how to do it yourself. If you want to configure, set it up, because the best experience is when you do it yourself. And last, we'll try to see how you could verify the results for this particular integration. So your landing page is supposed to be on GitHub over here, where the entire code is uploaded. You can use this to download the code. Next is the README, right? Uh, which will give you pretty much all the information that you may need, and you would need an account on SecurityTrails, yeah, which is a third-party threat intelligence provider. And what what does this particular integration do, right? So towards end, once you complete, let me just scroll to the bottom of this particular page. So you would be able to uh, send these three type of observables: IP, IPv6, or domain. And SecureX threat response would essentially be able to query security trails for these observables and get you the details, right? So let's take a look how you should be doing this. So to do this, steps are pretty much same as it was discussed in the last tutorial, but just for a recap, if you're new, I'm using PyCharm over here, and I have already updated the serverless profile, what needs to be created. Don't worry, I'll be posting the link where can you get that. Then what you need to do is in the particular folder there is a file called zappa settings file, which is a JSON file. You need to just make minor changes over there, which is again in the document. And post that, you need to run zappa deploy dev command, which is going to recompile this code and upload it into your AWS Lambda. So as you can see, this is done, and deploying API gateway, and the deployment completes. This is where I get a unique URL. And if I have to show you on AWS side, this is something you would see. So security trails function is already deployed over here, right? It was done a couple of hours back, but that's where is the code. Then what you need to do next is like explained in the last video as well. Even in this case, because it's using serverless relay, you need to use JWT and dev command. Then it will ask you for the API key over here. This is where you need to give the security trails API key, and this is where you need an account. So if you go to if you go to SecurityTrails, you should be able to create an account for yourself. Go ahead and create an account, and after creating account, you should be able to go to API and key in generate an API, use that API over here. So just come back, put the API key. After putting the API key, it's going to give you one authorization bearer. This is supposed to be going into SecureX threat response or the integration, and secret key. The secret key is something that goes in AWS. So what you need to do is, next you need to go back to your AWS, click on the particular function that is deployed. In this case, it's security trail. You would be able to see configuration over here. You need to come to environment variables. Make sure you um, put the variable and its associated value, which you will get from which you will be getting from PyCharm. Once that is done, you can then click on one of these URL over here, or depending on wherever is your SecureX. So for me, it's in US. Click on the URL that will take you directly to the integration module. So you click and then you go to integration modules. Over here, you should be able to go to the security trails module. Click on edit. There are two fields to be submitted. One is the URL, the second is authorization bearer, and then click on save. The steps are mentioned over here on the right hand side. Once this is done, it's time to verify whether it's working or not. So can you can put an IP, okay, and click on investigate. The other thing that you should also be able to do and verify is, like, for example, I have this over here, this example over here. What you should be able to do is check the menu as well over here, the SecureX menu, and that should also show you a security trail. You can search this domain. Let me see some other example where I have different sets. Okay, we have an IP over here, so you should be able to click and see that the security trail option launches, right? So search for this IPs and you should be able to do a cross launch as well, right? So security trail will be able to give you all the information from past close to past 12 years, and we were supposed to be verifying this in SecureX threat response as well. So I'll just minimize this ribbon, let this complete as it's loaded. So we queried one observable, that was this IP, which shows to be clean. There is one target identified, which is Alex, is one of the roaming user. He is on public IP, as you can see here. One user with public IP who is found to be talking to this particular IP. And now, if you see this 8.8.8, the IP is nearly has got 196 domains, right? So all those informations are readily available over here. And not just that, the indicators associated with those are also available over here. And lastly, you could see that there are 8 modules, and one of them is just recently added, which is security trails, which is right over here. So if we scroll down a bit, like, what we can see is there is one target. We get all the information related to Alex. Then what we get is what is it that we were investigating, and what were the sightings. So you can see the sighting was actually so we have a lot of them. We have umbrella plus others. So if you click on sightings, different products sightings will be available over here, but to be precise, we are looking at security trail over here. And if you see, there are many domains hosted, but is there something that is bad or concerning that you should be able to see right over here? More or less it seems to be good, but SecureX threat response should be able to populate the result, which eventually is something that is bad, but is something that is resolving to this clean IP, which is 8.8.8. So we definitely cannot just trust this IP. So as you can see here, this is something that is bad. And when it comes to not just detection and action, my action could be as simple as block this domain, and with one click I have this particular domain blocked. Right, so as promised right at the beginning of the demo, I've demonstrated you how where to get the code. The code is available over here. If you are still interested to read more about this, SecurityTrail has already posted a blog on this same topic, which is right over here. Right, you can eventually listen to this article, or you can read through this particular article and get all the details on how to set this up and get it running for your environment. I hope you find this video useful. This is Sandeep Yadav signing off until we meet again.